Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. We are back again for another episode of the Digital Entrepreneur Journey to Success. We have amazing guest today. He's all the way from Canada, but we will hear um, his journey from his regular, like job before he dive into this business and how he becomes successful. But before that, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Rosalyn Adkins. I am a digital business owner and a mentor. Now I'm going to give a chance to my business partner to introduce herself and then we can bring our guest on the screen. Hi, Sister Teresa. Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you, sis, and I'm really appreciate this opportunity to have our episode in our digital entrepreneur journey to success. And to those who don't know me, my name is Teresa. I'm digital business owner and a mentor, and based here in Pennsylvania. And today we have really uh, a handsome guest in our episode today, and I hope for all of you that he will inspire on his journey.
Yes, we sure. Um, Hi, Coach. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
Thank
We
you
are
so
Again,
much.
of
And I'm
course.
sure our audience will get inspired and also will decide to dive in into the digital world. But anyway, before that, tell us a little bit about your background so we can know a little bit about you and for our audience as well.
Yeah, of course. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the invitation. It was unexpected, but these interviews are always amazing. So, to give you a little bit of background about me, my name is Dustin. I come to you all the way from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So, I've been a nurse for 16 years, a cardiac nurse. And so, obviously, as we know, nurses work really hard. They work a lot of 12 to 16-hour shifts, kind of always away from family. And so, 6 years ago, I decided to make a change. I was feeling like I was burning out, away from family a lot. Unfortunately, I lost my father 4 years ago, and that was a big thing for me. Just kind of wanted to really live, in the moment because life is short. And so that's when I wanted to make a change and a big change and looking at, the digital world and online opportunity and try to make an income online and just be more present for the people that I love, right? So that was one of the biggest reasons why I decided to join the business.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear about your dad. And yeah, like in a healthcare industry, it's really sometimes it depends the shift, but it's really draining as well. And that's why you said, like you always away with your family because it's like, long shift. I'm also in a healthcare, and then I like, a firefighter when I first started here, but I hold my account right now like as a firefighter and then a fitness coach. But of course, for me as well, looking for something that I can do at home, so I can live the life that I really want. And as what you said, life is short.
Right,
And
right.
we know when you're in a healthcare cardiac, like we know the as a healthcare helping serving people, we know in that time, and it's not easy, for the
Yeah,
family.
great.
So we're gonna hear your journey to success today, and I am so excited. We are so excited, Sister Teresa, to hear and get inspired from you.
Of course.
Yeah, let's start with what were some of the biggest challenges you faced and how did you overcome them? I think you mentioned a little bit. If you could just add on about that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think we all have challenges, right? We all have challenges in life in general, whether it's a business, whether it's a career, whether it's family, there's always going to be a challenge, right? It's always about mindset and how you move past, those challenges that come into play, right? So, for me, not only was there a challenge of always helping people, as much as I love helping people, it kind of comes with a price, right? It comes with an emotional price, a mental price, and a physical price, right? So for me, that was a challenge. And not only that, losing my father as well was a big challenge for me. And I kind of stepped away from the business for a little bit. That's the beauty of this business. When it is your own, being your own boss, you kind of step away from those things for quite some time and then dive back in afterwards if you need to. So that was a big challenge for me, just kind of having those emotions come into play and really being able to overcome and really reflect on what's important to me. right? And knowing that this business is my way out, to be able to show up for the people that needed me, right? And so I think, whether it's a career, whether it's a job, whether it's a business, there's always going to be challenges. And I know that was the biggest challenge for me, is when you lose someone who is like a role model, who is someone that you deeply care of, and they're just suddenly no longer there. I think that's the big thing. But for me, I think it was the community, number one, that you get involved in. They do feel like a family who really stepped up and helped pick me up when I was at my lowest point in my life. And then to just really going back to my why. Why did I do this business? And I think it wasn't just for me, but it was for him, being for my family. And I always wanted to make sure, I think everyone is like that. They always want to make their parents proud. And so I think that was my big thing, right? Is making sure that, hey, he's no longer here, but he's taught me A, B, and C on how to be the person I am today, and really showing up for people that way. And I think that was the big thing that really got me through the hardest time in my life. I did take a break for 2.5 years from the business. It was very challenging for me. But also it was probably the best thing in a way, because those challenges definitely made me grow as an individual and really kind of hone in on what's important. And that's this business.
Wow. And welcome back. We're happy
Thank
that
you.
you decided to come back. Yes, what you mentioned. Wow, that's really inspiring. We always face challenges in life and here in business as well, because like, first of all, as what you said, when your dad, very important person in your life. It's like me, I'm a breadwinner also. I'll do my best to make my parents proud. And
Right.
with that, of course, we don't live here forever, but it's a big empty into our part. But yeah, and here the beauty of this business, as what we mentioned, is you can always stop and then come back, whenever you're ready, because we have control of our own time, of when we want to start again. But of course, the community support is amazing. It's like we have second family here. This is really how I was surprised, Coach Dustyn, when I like joined into this community. It's like, wow, it feels like I have second family, that you can reach out to anybody and they're always willing to help you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah. I mean, the
you.
big thing is, right, and I always think, and I look back, at the time, as I wanted to give up, right? I wanted to give up because I just really didn't know how to move forward with the business. I really didn't know how, right? When I lost such a big role model in my life, because it really does affect so much in your life when you lose someone that important to you. And I wanted to give up, but I invested so much time and energy and effort before that happened into this business, and I've been doing so well. And I just always felt like that was my way out. The typical 9 to 5 is not the way out, right? We're trained that it's the typical, way out, but it's not. Having a business like this is your way out to success, and being able to be present for the people, right? So, but there's always going to be challenges that are going to come up that you want to give up. But the big thing is not giving into that, right?
Agree. And yes, it's just, for me too, I feel like this is my way out for freedom, of course, because once financial freedom is out of the way, it opens opportunity for us to help more, to serve more. Like for me, I love to help people, what make them happy. But of course, of feeling stuck, how am I gonna help if I'm working 12 hours every night? And
Yeah.
then we couldn't do that, like at the same time. But once that, achieve the stability, then we were able to do what we really true, what we really love in life.
Right.
So
Right.
that's amazing. Wow. It's very inspiring, Coach. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Now let's move on to the next questions. Go ahead, Sister Teresa.
Before I'm gonna proceed to the question, Coach Dustyn, yeah, I can relate your your story, because my dad also passed away, and that was like a year before I visit him, and because of, like you said, it's been a while I didn't visit there, so yeah, I can relate your story about it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That's
So
okay.
anyway, I'm gonna proceed the into my question. So I think you shared a little bit about it, and how did you discover this online business opportunity, and what made you decide to pursue it? Sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry that I made you emotional. I mean, obviously there's a lot of passion there, right? I mean, it seems to be like quite fresh, and it's quite fresh for me, too, even though it felt like it was quite a long time ago. There are things that remind me of him, right? And so, I could see that as well, and just kind of make that your driving force going forward as well, that you're doing this business for him as well, right? That is my driving force, is for him and my family. So don't lose that. Right. So for me, discovering this business opportunity was actually two Canadian men. I came across their ad and their platform, 6 years ago on Facebook, and, kind of wanted to be like them, right? They seemed like they were living the life, they were traveling, they were paying off debts, they were doing things for them, they would be able to give back to their family as well. And in the moment, that's what I wanted. And so what made my decision to pursue it? Well, I think it was, like we just discussed just recently, about, wanting to make a change in my life, doing it for my family and doing it for the people that I love was what made me pursue it. But not only that, it's just the burnout that happens to you when you're a nurse. You can relate to that, when you're always giving back to other people, emotionally, mentally, and physically, it does eventually take a toll. But I kind of wanted to give back in a different way. And that's what we do here, right? We give people that financial freedom. We give them back their time with this business. So now we're able to kind of give back people differently, right? And so that's what I like the most about this business, is we're kind of giving back to those people to escape that 9-to-5 career, escape that 9-to-5 job that we're always so pushed to do. Right. And then we're missing out on those amazing moments with our family. And so looking back, I wish I got involved sooner. And I think some of us kind of will look back and are like, oh, I wish I would have done that like 3 or 4 years ago, right? To know where I could have got, if I started from that day one, and not kind of have that fear or listen to those voices that we tell ourselves, right? So that was my biggest decision on why I wanted to do something online, was because I felt like there is a lot of freedom in it. B, I think we all know there's lots of finances, when it comes to an online business. Obviously, you have to have all the right things lined up for you to be successful, right? And then all those reasons that we just talked about with my family was the biggest reason why I decided to pursue it. And then just getting away from feeling burnt out.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, for sharing that. It's really inspiring, because we always want our time back, because when we lose our time, we cannot really take it back. It's already gone. So that's why I realized and jumped in this global online business, because of the family. You need to spend your time with your family and not just keep working. And it's good money to have our full-time job, but it's taking our time away from our family. Thank you so much, Coach Dustyn. I'm sorry I got emotional.
It happens.
Teresa. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, as what you said, like same as here, I also run. She's now my coach and mentor. I get inspired of her stories, and that's also like I can resonate and feel the emotions of how she start from like working long hours, no time for herself and her son, and then to become a successful and have that time back. And I say like for me, I feel like, oh my God, that's what I want. So that's how I really discovered this business as well. It's amazing. But of course, there is no turning back. It's the best opportunity and best decision that I made in my life. Thank you
Good.
so much, Coach. So for our audience right now who are watching and wondering what we are doing. So what do you hear? Do you handle inventory, sell product, or primary focus in recruiting and mentoring people? I know you are very successful in this journey. So for our audience who don't know what we really are doing, if you could share them.
Yeah, of course. I mean, the big thing that I like to tell people is the number one go-to is I always tell people it's attraction marketing, right? So we're doing social media advertising and we make commissions from it, basically, is how I like to kind of describe it to other individuals, right? And, if I had to sell something directly to someone, I'd be out. Being a nurse, I was never trained to do that, right? I mean, I'm very talkative, very open. I can hold a conversation, but if I really had to sell something directly to someone, I'd probably fail at it, right? That's why I never got into, realty or trying to sell homes or something, because I'm just not good at that, right? There is no recruiting anybody. So what we mean by that is we're not having to chase people down, right? People come to us. People are invested in us. There's something about us that they look up to or they feel inspired by, so they want to move forward. That's the whole premises of that attraction marketing, and do that social media advertising on our platforms, right? Whether it's Facebook or Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, there's always something that resonates with us where they want to be involved in the business, right? So I do like to kind of encompass this as a little bit of lifestyle marketing as well, behind the scenes of things, right? People are looking at your life and then wanting to be like that. So we're not having to hold any sort of inventory. So I'm not having to stock up on that inventory and try to sell it again. It's not like an Avon or a Mary Kay or all those Tupperware, low ticket items that we don't make any money from because you're selling a product for $5 and you're making $1 from it, right? It's all high ticket, items and high ticket commissions, right? That we're actually utilizing and holding on to, right? That's the best part of this business, is that why we see, people making as much money as they're making, right? Is because, it's such a high ticket item. And we make so much money from one sale, right? So again, kind of circling back, our primary focus is that attraction marketing piece through social media advertising, and we teach anybody to learn how to do that, right? Don't need any experience. I came from a nursing background. I had no experience in social media advertising and no experience in the social media realm of things. But the best part of the system is that step-by-step that anybody, no matter your age, no matter your gender, can learn, because it's going to walk you through all those steps, right? And teach you how to be successful online.
Yes, wow, that's wonderful. Yeah, as for our audience, hopefully they get that takeaway that we don't do selling here. As what you said, I will be out as well. I'm not good in selling
Yeah,
or
no,
like convincing people to
no,
buy. No.
no. And that's the whole, I think, you kind of, it brings me back to like when you buy a car, let's say, right? And you're kind of all excited and you're looking for a car that you want. And then you have that salesman chasing you down and being like, do you want this car? This has limited edition stuff. And then you leave and then they call you right away and be like, do you want that car? And I'm like, there's always something about that sits in my stomach that's just really wrong, that I'm like, no, I'll pass, I'll call you and I'll come to you when I'm ready, right? And I'm glad we don't do that. We're not trying to push anything. We're not trying to beg. We're not trying to force you. People come to us when they feel ready and they feel supported, and it's really on them to move forward.
Yes, like as what you said. And then when people try to chase you, my answer is no, I'm not gonna buy that.
Yeah.
And the beauty of this business, as what Coach Dustyn said, is we don't do selling, we don't bug people. We really use social media platform, so people really come to us and ask about this business opportunity. And it's amazing business. Pretty much people will be like asking more and more questions for more info. Because really, it's for me, if as what you mentioned earlier, if I saw this 3 years ago, I would be this right now, because here in our community, we always have like pretty much milestones wants to achieve, goals. Because here before, my life was like same cycle: homework, no growth, and I have no goals.
Yeah.
My goal is to have my day off so I can sleep. That
Yeah.
was bad.
I know. I hear you.
So thank you so much, and I hope that very clear. Thank you for giving the info for our audience, so that
Of
makes
course.
them decide. It's very
Yeah.
important. So now
Totally.
let's move on to the next. Go ahead, Sister Esa. No more
Yeah,
crying.
yeah. This and the same thing. Like I'm the same with you. I don't like talking to people. I don't have that skills to communicate, especially with in terms of selling. So yeah, I was glad that this online business we don't have to deal with that. Only the system will do all this work. But okay, I'm gonna proceed to our fourth questions.
Yeah.
How do you effectively manage and sustain success on your online business?
Well, I think that's the good question, or that big question that a lot of people have, right? So, basically, the big thing that I like to kind of refer to is the business is so flexible. And what I mean by that, the flexibility to be able to do multiple things and be successful with this business. So when I began my journey, way back when, oh my God, like aging myself, I have gray hair. I was going to school full time, right? I was actually also working at the hospital full time, and I also had a family to maintain, and I was doing homework. So, and I was also being able to be successful in this business. So if you're kind of thinking there and watching that you have to just be one thing and focused on the business, well, I mean, unfortunately, that's not the case. Well, fortunately, that's the case, I should say, because the business is so flexible, right? So you should obviously at the very beginning of the business, going through the training, getting that up and running is the biggest part of the business, right? It takes a little bit of time, obviously, but the whole premises of the business is to be able to be present for the people in our lives, right? Is what our jobs or career is taking us away from, to be able to manage the business on the side, right? And to be able to be more present. So how do we do that? Well, we have that automated system that does all of it for us, right? So we do indirect selling, right? So we have that automated system, that sales funnel, that website that is set up for us, that we actually have people go to and watch the webinar, right? So that's how it can be so successful. Not only that, we also have paid ads in the background running for us, or free ads that we have set up for us, right? On why it's so automated. Right. So that's how most people can see success in the business. Is so obviously, whether you want to put in 30 minutes a day to 4 hours a day to 5 hours a day, really it's your own business at the end of the day. So you put as much time and energy into business that you want to see that success. Obviously, if you want a little bit more success, you're going to put a little bit more time and energy into the business. A little bit less success is probably a little bit less. That being said, once you're up and running your business, it takes about 2 or 3 hours, maybe once every 2 days, into your business, right? To see that success. So I manage it, like anything else, right? Like if I want to go out and spend some time with my family, I go out and do that. Everything's running for me in the background. And, obviously you have to be a little bit more present for coaching calls. If you are doing interviews like this, which is what you want to do, right? You're doing attraction marketing. So really at the end of the day, it's up to you what you want to do with your business and how you see the sustained success, I guess, is the big question, right? So, yeah.
Thank you. That was a nice answer. And because also, I know we got a lot of challenges, but that's up to us. Or like you said, it's up to us how we can be successful in our business, because we don't really not our success, not for our coach or mentor, but for ourselves. So thank you so much.
Of course.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And that's what you said when you first started here, huh? You also was in school whole time and this. Well, can you imagine that? So really we can do this even if we're busy. That's how amazing this business, because of our automated system. It's up and running 24/7 nonstop. So you can be enjoying with your family, and your business is running in the background, or you will be in your full-time job, and this business is also running. It's amazing how this the digital nowadays and the technology that really can help a lot of people, that they can get back, like, because in our community, coach, yeah, I think we can all see that people have like the time freedom back, that now they're enjoying their life, traveling and spend time with their family. That's how amazing, and that's all our goal. I think you already achieved that, coach.
Well, and I think, a lot of people's goal is to be able to be more present with their kids, right? You see
Yes,
a lot of busy moms, single moms, who are wanting to be financially independent to help their husbands, right? Or pull their husbands away from that 9 to 5 grind as well, right? Because it's not just about you and being time with your family, it's your husband and everyone involved, right? And so
yes,
we're seeing that time and time again, people actually leaving their full-time jobs and doing this business full-time because they're so successful, right? But I
yeah.
mean, when you look at that, people are making 5, 6, 7 figures, a day, a month, a year because of this business, right? So you can do that.
Yes, and it's amazing, really, like the potential of that we can get here, and
Yeah.
the opportunities as well, because here we don't have just one streams. We have four now streams of income in our community. That's how amazing. And yes, so if Coach Dustyn can manage his business successfully on top of those, we all can. Everyone can. It's just the excuses that we have in the back of our mind.
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
many excuses that we can't really, we all can and capable of doing what we really want. Thank you so much. And for our last questions, we really keep you in here. We have a good time.
Okay. Yeah. I'm in no rush.
So for our audience who are watching right now, what would you say to someone who is hesitant or skeptical about starting but deeply desires change?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a big question for most of us, right? I think there's always that fear right? The skepticism, all those emotions that we have come up when we want to change, right? What happens when we want to change? It's that unknown, right? We're scared, right? We're scared to take some next steps. That's like if you're, going to school, you're scared to go to school because you think you might fail. What if, right? Comes in our head, right? We always have that what if. That's at the back of your mind, right? What if I fail? What if I don't do well? I like to flip that script and kind of go to what if I do very well, right? What if I'm very successful, right? Or not even what if, it's about saying I will be successful, right? I will do well, right? And so, but there's always that skepticism, no matter where you are, with a little bit of fear, because I think that's natural. I think that's a natural human experience to have that emotion, to kind of be like, wait a minute, I need to do all my due diligence to make sure that this is the right step, right? But we know for certain that our business is, completely, what's the word that I'm looking for here? Legit. That's the good question. There we go. The reason being is because we get T4s here in Canada at the end of every year to actually utilize for our business, right? So a T4 here in Canada is to use for our taxes at the end of every year, right? The company partnership that we have has been around for 51 years. So, that's another reason why it's legit. It's a billionaire company. They're around for 51 years and they're not going anywhere anytime soon, right? So that's another reason why we know that it's legit. There in America, you guys get our 1099, right, at the end of every year to do your taxes, and you're seeing a lot of people get those big refunds from the business, right? Yeah. So also too, there's also those tax write-offs that you get involved into when it comes to a business. So you can write off anything, depending on the accountant that you have, right? But that's another pro when it comes to our business, right? So we know that our business is legitimate because we have T4s and 1099s, right? The company partnership that we have has been around for 51 years. They're not going anywhere because they're a billionaire company and they're growing every day, right? So if you're kind of sitting there thinking, I'm hesitant or can I do this? Well, for me, I was in the exact same situation and anybody, right? 6 years ago, I had no experience when it came to the internet. I disliked, to be honest, social media. I was never on it. I was never present on it because I didn't know how to use it. But we know that the internet is growing every day, right? We know that social media is growing every day, right? So I always like to say, if I can do it, I'm no different than the next John Doe that is looking into this business. I'm no different than the next person. Why am I different than you? Right? If I can do it, you can too, right? It's very step-by-step. It's easy going. The training is amazing. So if you're kind of like, I'm not sure if I have what it takes, well, why don't you have what it takes? Right? That's the big thing. That's what I always tell the people that I'm mentoring and that I'm coaching. Why do you not have what it takes? Right? Obviously, you need to make sure that you take the time and the energy and dedication and consistency, but we know that consistency is key to any sort of success. Right? So, I mean, again, there's no reason why. It's always just having that faith in yourself and taking that leap of faith to make a change. If you don't make a change today, then when will you? And then the big thing that I always hear from so many people is the exact same thing. I don't have the time, right? When can I, right? But, they're waiting for that perfect timing to make that next step. But when is there ever perfect timing? Look at me when I began my journey 6 years ago. It wasn't the perfect timing. I just took out a $65,000 loan. I was in school full time. I was working full time. I was trying to take care of, family. It wasn't a perfect time, but I needed to change. Right? So there's never a perfect time. There's not going to be like this big, amazing thing that's going to happen to you tomorrow. And it's going to be like, yeah, do the business, right? There might be a sign from God, right? Telling you, okay, yeah, do this, right? But there's never going to be a perfect time. That's going to be like, yeah, it's going to be tomorrow, right? Why not now? Why not 5 minutes from now? Why not, in the next 30 minutes, right? If you desire that change so much, you're going to make it happen.
Yes, thank you so much. And yes, what you said, there is no perfect time. It's now, like same here. When I started this, it wasn't a perfect time. I was burned out and was the lowest point of my life, but yeah. I was looking for a change. That's what I have is a willingness to learn. So Coach Dustyn said that he don't know about social media. Dislike about social media. Same here. The only thing I know is post and pictures on Facebook. That's it. Yeah. But like really here, we don't need any experience here because as what you said, there is training that will guide you through, and coach and mentor that will guide. Every one of us have coach and mentor here, and yeah, that was amazing when you said about that if you we all are skeptical, we have all those self doubts. If I can do it, what if in the back, but always remember what if this is the right one for you, and you will be successful.
Right.
because we all start, we don't, every one of us don't know if what really we're doing. Same when I first started, I have no idea what I'm doing, but the willingness to learn and those hungry for change,
Right.
because
And yeah.
that tired of same cycle daily.
Yeah. And I mean, I just refer it back to like, when you started nursing school or when you went to school, right? If that was your decision when you graduated, like, did you, like, for me, did I know how to be a nurse? Like, just waking up tomorrow? No. I needed the training. I needed the time. I needed the effort. I needed to do all the theory. I needed to have hands on. I mean, how could I, do well? I was still learning mostly every day as a nurse, right? You're not going to be perfect at anything, but you need that time and the energy to grow and learn. And that's just like this business, right? You're not going to be perfect
Yes.
overnight. It's a business. It takes time. It takes energy. It takes time to grow. It's not a get rich scheme. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's not any of those crazy schemes that you see out there, right? It's an actual business that takes time to grow. And then as time goes on, you see the benefits and you see, you see the amazing changes that occur.
Yes, that's really true, because for the first year, really, like, it's a learning opportunities that we have to go through. As well, like, for example, look, if you're going to school, like when I was in the Philippines, I was in PT school, and it's hard, it's not easy, but we all start with the first steps. If we have to go through 5 years, 4 years in nursing, and then after you graduated, we even have to start our job. But here, of course, like, it takes time. It was the first and second year, I think it's pretty much learning opportunity, but there are so many people here become very successful in their first year. But it really up to us of how we manage and run our business. And that's what Coach Dustyn mentioned earlier. It's just up to you. Your success, it doesn't matter of you, all your mentors and coaches. It's just up to you how you put time and effort. If you want, be successful faster, then you put some more time in there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's totally it. I mean, everyone is so different in their progression and what they see in this business as well. Like, I mean, I was doing all the things that I listed off and I still made $170,000 in my very first year in this business. Right.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's just what you can see, right? Obviously, you look in, I'm sure people are looking and being like, how did you make $170,000 in my first year? I still don't know. Some days I'm like, that's so surreal. Like, I mean, the amount of money that is possible and the potential, we talk about uncapped earnings in this business because it is totally right. There is no cap to this business, right? And now we look at it, fast forward to 6 years, right? I've been doing this business for 6 years and I'm now debt free and I'm 39. Like, I never thought that debt free was possible, right? I paid off my student loan, which was $45,000, line of credit card, like all those things, you name it. I would never be able to do that just as a nurse. I hate saying just a nurse because it's time, it's energy, it's commitment. It's a lot of work to be a nurse. And, I respect nurses because I'm one myself. But it's like, I just could never be there if it wasn't for this business, right? Having multiple properties and doing it myself, having no one to support me is just mind blowing. So again, it's possible, potential's there. You just can't limit yourself to what you're possible and what you're, capable of.
Yeah, it's true, and for our audience, really, you get everything today, from the bottom to how he becomes so successful, and hopefully that will be inspired people, and for our audience who are watching right now, I'm not gonna add on and keep Coach Dustyn in here. We always like half an hour. But if you were interested in looking for some opportunity, if you were like us before, like almost 2 years ago, hungry for those change and tired of same cycle, and if you are looking for change, registered to our website. There is 3 website in front of the screen, so you will have access to our free webinar that explains the basic about the business. But if you want to learn more, proceed to the next steps or reach out to us. We will be happy. Coach Dustyn, Sister Ressa, and I will be happy to guide you and provide you with more information. You have anything to add on, Sister Ressa?
I think that's all.
Thank you so much, Coach Dustyn, for accepting
Thank you, Coach.
spending 30 minutes with us here.
Of
It's
course.
amazing.
Thank you so much of your time.
Thank
I
you so
appreciate
much. And I think you nailed everything. You gave all informations that our audience and who are watching right now needs it. And I have nothing else to add on.
it.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And I mean, like, if you're watching, right, and you're thinking that this is something you want to do or look into or still curious, or it's like kind of just planting that seed of being like, okay, yeah, follow our journey, add us on Facebook, right? Follow what we do, right? Ask questions, right? Send us a message. If, our websites are there. But again, if you're just kind of wanting to build that trust with us as well, we don't mind communicating with you. So just send us a message so we can get you the information that you need to move forward.
That's right. Just reach out to us and we will be happy to guide you every step of the way. Thank you so much, Coach Dustyn. We appreciate your time. Bye,
Anytime.
everyone, and have a wonderful day.
Bye, guys.
Like
Take care.